Yahoo got a new CEO. They've been reforming the board. A lot going on, but the fundamental question with Yahoo still, despite all this is really, to me, this is all just a lot of noise, what's going on with the board. The question is, what is Yahoo going to do to become a relevant company again, a relevant high-tech company? To discuss that question, George Stahl joins us. Mr. Stahl.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Doing all right. So, we follow these moves, right? They're obviously high profile. They get a lot of attention. They're good stories. They're interesting. But Yahoo, to me, has been a company that's kind of been dead in the water for a long time. Mm-hmm. They have a portal. I know they have some valuable properties. They have good, assets on the books that are valuable. But their lunch has been getting eaten for a while. Google, Facebook, everyone has moved in on their turf. They have not really responded. They have not taken that next step. That's the fundamental question. What are they going to do next?
And there are no obvious answers just yet. However, why the stock is up today, and it was up more than 2% last I looked, is because there's optimism with the new CEO who has a media background. Ross Levinson comes from HBO. He comes from Fox News Corp. And people see the future of Yahoo being tied more to their media assets than as a technology company. They've lost the search. They're not even in search anymore. They get it through Microsoft. They've lost the social battle with Facebook, as everybody else has. But they do get a lot of eyeballs. They still get 700 million eyeballs according to estimates. So people still go to that site. If they can keep those people at that site with various media offerings, then they might be able to sell advertising off that and rebuild the business model at Yahoo.
Now, Levinson wasted no time in sending a little missive to the troops, which is very interesting. We pulled a couple of quotes here. This is interesting. This one, he says, "I know there is one thing we should definitely all be doing in light of this news, and that is to focus on the momentum we've created over the last few months." I have to ask you, George. Momentum over the last few months I know he's been at the company. Has there been any momentum over the last few months that I maybe missed?
No, not at all. And if you look at the stock price, the stock has hovered in a very narrow range between $15 and $16 since the beginning of October. Yeah. So it hasn't really moved much, and right now I think it's like $15.50 something.
Right. And look, No, go ahead. Go finish.
There hasn't been much momentum. The big move that Scott Thompson did was lay off people, but then also go after Facebook with this patent suit. So remains to be seen whether that's going to continue under the new leadership, because there was a lot of internal discussion about it when it happened and whether or not that was the right play.
Let's pull up the other quote here. Here's the other pull quote that we're taking here. "In spite of the very bumpy road we've traveled, we are achieving genuine and meaningful successes in the marketplace every day and heading in the right direction." Now look, he's the new CEO, interim tech. I know he has to say something to kind of fire up the troops. But do you think it's better to kind of have that hyperbole out there, or would you rather him say, "Look, we face a tough road. We have made a lot of missteps. I understand. I've seen them, and because just be level with people. Be frank with them."
To be frank, I'm not sure either way is
better or worse.
What better or worse? What's more important is what happens after the letter goes out. We saw this with Nokia when Elop came in as CEO. He had that fire on the oil tanker letter where it's time for us to jump into the waters and go into a whole new direction. And he got ridiculed for that, and Nokia still seems to be swimming upstream, so to speak, in trying to get its comeback. So the letter isn't as important as what he does afterwards.
Right. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what they do afterwards. They have basically, really, you can see there another one. They have really rebuilt the board. Yeah. Right, and then over the weekend we had news on that too, right?
Right, they have 3 new people, which ends the proxy fight with Daniel Loeb, which is good, because this weekend the one thing that worked out really well for Yahoo is that they took care of a couple of drags real quickly and ended the CEO, the whole thing with Thompson, and they ended the proxy fight all in one swoop. So that's good. Now they can focus more on.
So let's talk about it. You said afterwards, and we have about a minute left. What do they do first? What's their next big thing?
The big thing is, what are they going to do with their Asian assets? They've got these stakes in Alibaba and Yahoo Japan that is a big chunk of their market cap. The reality is, though, we really don't know how valuable these stakes are. I mean, they're only as valuable as people think they are, because we just don't know about the financials in some of these situations. So look for Yahoo to possibly sell some of those stakes, which they've said they're interested in doing, and then take that money and reinvest it. How Levinson does that, and in what way will he do to build up Yahoo's media offerings, will go a long way to determining how Yahoo gets past this.